Rihanna is one of the biggest stars on earth and one of the best-selling female artists of all time. Throughout the past decades, Rihanna has accumulated her superstar status from releasing hit after hit. In recent years, she's since used her power to branch out of music, proving that not only is Rihanna a superstar, but she's an extremely valuable brand. Nowadays, it's become harder and harder to escape Rihanna. If she's not on the radio, she'll surely be on a product in one of your stores soon. With Rihanna being such a powerhouse, it's kind of hard to imagine a world without her, especially in music. But what if I were to tell you that almost didn't happen? Yes, there was almost no Rihanna. And today we're going to explore her career and how it came together as the perfect storm. Contrary to popular belief, Rihanna's superstardom wasn't instant. Her start was less like a firework and more like a butterfly, having to shed her original image to morph into the star she is now. With her first two albums, Music of the Sun and A Girl Like Me, she was known as the girl who couldn't achieve more than one hit at a time. And compared to label mates during that time such as Tierra Marie, Amiri, and Christina Milian, Rihanna was overlooked. It wasn't until 2007 that she would command everyone's attention, when a little song that goes by the name of Umbrella was released and became the song that saved her career. As stated by Billboard, the Good Girl Gone Bad era became a universally recognized moment where Riri solidified her position as an international superstar. Her signature bob haircut and newly seductive stage persona captivating fans and press. The era is now looked at as a staple in modern day music history and the clear landmark in Rihanna's career, but it wasn't what it appeared to be from the outside looking in. The era had a handful of legal troubles, almost causing her to go bankrupt and get dropped from her label, inspiring her latter single, Bitch Better Have My Money. Yes, even after Umbrella, Rihanna was initially going to be let go of. Back in 2008, there was a major rumor that Rihanna was broke and only had $20,000 to her name, yet no one believed it. How could this girl with these massive hits be broke? A few years later, Rihanna sued her accountants and left her management. And even further down the line, she released the song Bitch Better Have My Money, which essentially confirmed the rumors. In 2009, Rihanna almost went bankrupt because she took bad business advice from her accountants. They allegedly told her that it was okay to buy a $7 million home without notifying her that her moneymaker, the Last Girl on Earth tour, was actually losing money. The singer claimed she had $11 million in cash at the beginning of 2009. And by the end of the year, she only had $2 million left. Her expenses doubled and she was left on edge. Allegedly, Rihanna's accountant gave her the green light to buy a $7 million house, so she took his advice and sold the house for a $2 million loss. She also claimed her Last Girl on Earth tour was losing money, but the accountant never told her. One of Rihanna's former accountants, Patricia Williams, gave a tell-all interview to Page 6 about what was really going on behind the scenes during that time, and what she says is quite telling and shocking. She goes on to say, "I don't want to disrespect Mark's name, he's a fantastic manager and genuinely believes in Rihanna. But he uses her money to fund her future projects because he believes he can break her in the world market. Her album sales are not nearly as close to her single sales, and he knows that if she is only known as a singles artist, she will only be as good as her last hit. Unfortunately, he didn't inform his client and I'm receiving the brunt of it." Her record label Def Jam has put out 3 albums in a time span of 2 years. A lot of that was orchestrated through her management. It was never Def Jam's intention to release so many albums back to back, but Mark Jordan found loopholes and ways to make it happen. A lot of the money Rihanna made through her endorsements between CoverGirl Cosmetics, Samsung, etc. Notice that the majority of Rihanna's music videos have a cell phone in it. After the release of Rihanna and Tierra Marie, Def Jam had intentions to drop both acts because their album sales were not successful. Her manager fought to get SOS and quickly tried to negotiate with as many companies as possible. Nike picked up the song and funded a video. This brought the hype back for Rihanna in the company's New York office. Majority of the official SOS video was funded by Samsung because the record label was only willing to put a small amount. Once SOS picked up digitally and at radio, Def Jam agreed to fund the rest of her album. Jordan, Rihanna's former manager, instantly got a video shot to Unfaithful. He negotiated with video director Anthony Mandler to drop his price and would be given more Rihanna videos in return. Then they shot We Ride, which was an extremely cheap video to create. Break It Off was released as a third single, but again, Def Jam was unhappy with the sales of her album A Girl Like Me and refused to shoot a video. At this point, Rihanna was opening up in Europe for the Pussycat Dolls. She was making $30,000 a show, but she didn't see any of that money because it was needed to fund her next album, which is now known to the greater public as Good Girl Gone Bad. The song Umbrella was found and Jordan fought again for Rihanna to have it. They shot the video, which CoverGirl funded half of, and the song became a success. When the record label had their meeting with music stores across the US to order her album for shipment, the numbers weren't coming in the way that they expected. When the album's first week numbers came in at less than 150,000, the label was shocked. Def Jam's president L.A. Reid was livid. Umbrella was number 1 for 11 weeks. Any other artist would have sold way more than her first week. T-Pain even did better in sales than her that week. Def Jam told Jordan they were no longer funding the album, so Jordan needed money again to pay for music videos, Shut Up and Drive and Don't Stop the Music. Almost $250,000 was spent to have those videos created, plus an additional $120,000 to shoot Hate That I Love You. Jordan was noticing that Don't Stop the Music was picking up, so he persuaded the label to support it at radio in the US and the remaining singles, and they did. Then came for the repackaging of her album Good Girl Gone Bad, which is called Good Girl Gone Bad Reloaded. That entire project was funded through Rihanna's money. Take A Bow was bought through her money. The video was created with her money, and so was her most recent video and single Disturbia. The label didn't even want to pay a dime for anything. Close to $750,000 was spent on those 2 songs alone. Now she expects to see money in her account, said the former accountant. More than 10 years later from this situation, Rihanna is one of the biggest brands on earth, expanding her horizon with beauty and pretty soon even more. She was named the richest woman in music by Forbes and is looked at as an essential part in this age of digital music. Could you imagine a world without Rihanna? Me either. But the reality is, it almost happened, and she happened to beat all odds and still reign supreme.